Thank you, Samantha. I've gotten used to following Samantha. So, class of 2012, this is your moment. It's your year. And as it happens, it is also an election year. For some of you, it may be the first time that you will be able to cast a ballot for the President of the United States. Yet, given the occasional tenor of the campaign, I could hardly blame you if you decided to plug your ears and hold your nose and squeeze your eyes shut and just walk away. How is it possible that an election year discussion on a substantive question of public policy, health care for women and how to fund it, can degenerate into a juvenile and vulgar explosion of name-calling? How, after years of slow and bumpy, but nevertheless steady progress for women, can our public arena once again become fertile ground for vitriolic outbursts so demeaning to women? How is it possible that today, 50 years after John F. Kennedy became the country's first Catholic president, that in highly personal matters of faith in this country founded on the basis of religious freedom, that candidates are still being put on the defensive with regard to their own beliefs? How is it possible that a president who states the all-American wish that he wants all of our nation's children to have a chance to go to college gets attacked as a snob and worse, an elitist, and that colleges themselves are accused of being a flagrant waste of money? Now, naturally, as a lifelong educator, I find the battle about going to college of particular interest. But I wonder what it must sound like to you and to so many FIT students, past and present, who have worked with such energy and dedication to earn your diplomas. I think of the passionate fine arts student who struggled financially for almost 10 years to get his degree, or the injured ballerina who found through our AMC program a promising new professional path. I think of the menswear student who arrived in this country as a stowaway from Vietnam, one of so many who would become the first in their families to attend college. I wonder, too, how these accusations would have sounded to that little girl who lived in the shadows of City College and who, with awe and admiration, watched its eager students with their bundles of books rushing to class every day. From her apartment window, she could see them bent over their microscopes in their science labs and wanted more than absolutely anything else to be in college, too. That little girl was me. And I wonder how I would have felt if at that impressionable age I had heard adults, especially important adults, say that college was a waste of money and that college was not for me. Now, I grant you that in any election season, the rhetoric rises to fire alarm levels. Yet there is a debate, a legitimate debate going on right now among educators and public policy makers and members of the public. It's being conducted in far more civil terms, I should add, but it's a debate nonetheless over a very basic question. What is college for? Or put it another way, is college worth it? Now, you arrived here in the midst of a difficult recession, one that has caused very real hardship in the form of job losses, foreclosures, bankruptcies, and depleted bank accounts. And even though the economy is slowly improving, we have all seen how easily a bad economy can hijack opportunity. So it's not surprising that today, when talk turns to the basic value of a college education, the issue is framed most often in economic terms. So let me address that aspect of the debate first. Is the money spent to attend college, whether a public college like FIT or a private university like NYU, Whether a career college like FIT or a liberal arts college like Columbia, was it worth the investment? So when you factor in tuition, room and board, fees, books, equipment, loans, not to mention an occasional field trip to Topshop or Shake Shack, is there indeed a cash advantage? Well, as it turns out, the answer is yes, just in these stark practical terms alone. Yes, there is a cash advantage. Every study shows that a college degree, whether it's a 2-year, a 4-year, or an advanced degree, can earn you anywhere from $400,000 up to $2 million more than a high school graduate over the standard course of a career. That's not even the best part. Statistics, of course, vary, and they're always subject to interpretation, but either way, those are considerable sums. And yes, it is true that because of today's economy, many well-educated graduates are pouring lattes at Starbucks. And it's also true, as the skeptics like to tell us, that Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg did pretty well without their diplomas. But the bottom line for the majority of American students is this: financially, your college degree pays off. But there are many other advantages that you have gained from your time in college. Advantages not as tangible as your prospective paycheck, but advantages that derive from your expanded intellectual growth, your exposure to challenging new ideas, new people, new cultures, your accumulation of new and vital information, and the broader perspective that you now enjoy. Now, it may sound odd coming from the president of a college whose mission is to prepare you for a career, but I think one of the greatest advantages of your years here at FIT was your exposure to the liberal arts. Those courses in history or economics or literature that you had to squeeze into your very crowded schedule in order for you to graduate today. And I know the liberal arts has its critics. They see the study of language or art history or philosophy as an indulgence, a useless frill, something perhaps for the wealthy elite, and a particular distraction for students in today's difficult marketplace. If you go to college, they say, don't waste your time with the liberal arts. But in fact, industry leaders, including those from companies like Macy's and Kohl's and Ralph Lauren and LVMH, are clamoring for employees who have strong communication skills, who are adept at critical and creative thinking, who understand how societies and democracies work, and who possess cultural and global sophistication. And these are the qualities that will keep their business culture healthy and dynamic, and these are the qualities that are developed through the liberal arts. There are other benefits to these courses as well, including why your ability to read Cervantes in Spanish is more than a mere educational ornament. That knowledge base that you picked up from history or earth science or from your pre-Columbian art and civilization course is not only enriching to you personally, but it's part of the arsenal of information that you will need and use as a contributing member of society. Indeed, when the question, what is college for, is raised, I think one of the best answers comes from the man who founded the University of Pennsylvania. His name was Benjamin Franklin. And true education, he said, is an inclination joined with an ability to serve mankind, one's country, friends, family, to serve the public good. Well, Benjamin Franklin is hardly alone in arguing about the civic purpose of education, and especially higher education, but it is a mission that we sometimes lose sight of. And that's particularly unfortunate at a time when more Americans can identify Michael Jackson as the composer of Billie Jean than can identify the Bill of Rights. But you are our future business leaders, our creative artists, our innovators, and our entrepreneurs. Yet you're also citizens, a role that, as President Obama said last week to another group of graduating students, is the most important role in our democracy. You know, earlier I suggested that the incivility of the presidential campaign might put you off, but I hope it does not. As the president said, it's up to you to right the wrongs, to point out injustices, to hold the system accountable. It's up to you to stand up and to be heard, to march, to organize, and most especially to vote. Now, here at FIT, your professors nurtured your skills of interpretation and imagination and inquiry and evaluation. Those are the skills that have prepared you for lives of civic responsibility. And they will help you to engage in the difficult, complicated, sometimes angry debates of our day, to hold the system accountable, and to stand up and to be heard. The other day, an op-ed piece appeared in the New York Times about who should or should not attend college, which is another way the debate about higher education is being framed. It was written by a professor at the University of Virginia who has been teaching English for 35 years. The essay reminded me of all of you. There are many students for whom college isn't the right choice, he said. Students who aren't curious, alive, and hungry to learn. The best students, he said, the ones who get the most out of their educations, are the ones who come to school with the most energy to learn and the ones that Bruce Springsteen calls a hungry heart. You have hungry hearts. After more than 35 years in the world of higher ed, I can categorically say that I have never seen more curious, alive, passionate, and motivated students than the students at FIT. You arrive here, most of you knowing just what you want to do, and your hunger to learn and to achieve is fierce and it's palpable. And the results are spectacular. We have all seen and admired and applauded your end-of-year presentations and your projects and your exhibitions. You leave us breathless with your skills and your talent and with all that you have achieved. So, is college worth it? For you, for all of us, the evidence is in. And we thank our lucky stars that you and your families believed in the abundant benefits of higher education, and particularly higher education as practiced in the classrooms and the labs and the studios of FIT. So, class of 2012, I congratulate you. I look forward to watching as you make your mark on this world, and I wish you Godspeed. Congratulations.